Everything's working on all of the things before I do multicasting to D Live and YouTube, but I guess I gotta wait for that one. All right, it's on YouTube. I have a plus so far. I can see that everything's working. Is gonna work on D Live too? Okay, that's Phew, that's taking a little bit. It's working on YouTube. What the? Ooh, best not hit refresh on that. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, is there audio? All right, there's audio. All right. Oh man, I really should just bite the bullet and not do live streams, or bite the bullet and do live streams constantly. But whatever, fine. Welcome to a special edition of the Trevor Report, a Trevor Report that's actually live and not pre-recorded and set and distributed live, or that's the way it is. It's the way things goes. Streaming for about 3 hours. And during these 3 hours, gonna have some which apparently is just on YouTube. I was hoping that it could also be on D Live just in case, but that's not working. So yeah, we're gonna be doing this instead. I got the chat right next to me. If you want to chat, you could see the chat on there, and you can talk to me through here. Gonna have some guests. I told them all last minute. Whoopsie daisy, my bad. And the goal is to just sort of, I don't know, I'll do my Trevor report onto the thing, and yeah, that's basically it. I'm gonna go announce this live stream onto Getter right now, and there's a share button. There it is. I copy the link and go to Getter. The better Twitter. Gotta make sure to do that, because yeah. Oh shoot, you should probably do that on Instagram too. Midterms 2022 coverage. Yep, that's good enough. All right, and go Instagram, and all right, come on. Keep on. Man, everyone's streaming right now, dude. Like, everyone I follow everywhere is streaming. Like, it's honestly crazy. Just gonna wait for some people to join the stream and get right to it. Right about oh, I always do this. I always copy the link text right on there instead of just going to Instagram stories. Like, suck. First, you got to go to the little search thing, go link. Then you got to put the link there, and then you got to put the little captions above it. I wish someone would make an like a Liberty platform alternative to Instagram, and just make it make sense. you know Now, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not some boomer with like technology or whatever, but like Instagram is just so inconvenient for any of the, like, all their creator tools are just like, don't get me wrong. Like everything works on Instagram. It's just not very intuitive, and like, I'm so used to pasting a link and then getting the image from the link put on there, blah blah blah. But it's not happening. So yeah. So I got a really big show notes. The show notes, sadly, won't be available until tomorrow. My bad. I chose to make myself some lunch instead of doing what I was supposed to be doing, which was getting the show notes together. I chose to do that instead. But guys, gotta eat. That went down the wrong side. Oh boy. Oh boy. All right. Okay. Well, Let's begin. So, gonna share some screens. Share my screen right now. Gonna go into segment one, and I get to spend as much time as I want on segment one. Where is no? That's not how you do it. There's a share screen button. There we go. Go to break. No, I don't want to share a tab. Do I want to just share my entire screen? Wait, no. Why isn't it? Okay, let's go to this. Go to this window. Go to there, and then there we go. Is everything working? All right, everything's working. The Trevor report is now officially live, and we can get right down onto it. Yeah. So I got 3 hours to do that. I'm doing the show, so I actually read all the articles in depth, and have a sore throat at the end of the stream. But anyway, eyes at the polls. Nationwide grassroots election integrity movement mobilizes for election day. We are solving problems in real time, not waiting until after elections, said Virginia Institute for Public Policy President Lynn Taylor. Let's continue. As states and localities across the country prepare for Election Day on Tuesday, a grassroots election integrity organization is training and helping mobilize citizens to monitor and participate in elections. The Election Integrity Network, EIN, began by hosting a summit last year prior to Virginia's 2021 gubernatorial race to train people to work at the polls on Election Day. As a result of the summit, state and local coalitions were created from task forces to focus on election issues and share them with each other so they can learn from everyone's experiences. One of the resources EIN provides is the Citizen's Guide to Building an Election Integrity Infrastructure to help people get involved in election integrity in their communities. According to the guide, the primary focus of state task forces is the State Election Board, the State Office of and Operations, while local task forces prioritize, quote, the local election board office and operations in that county, unit, or parish, end quote, or parish. I don't know. I don't know which pronunciation I'm supposed to give on that. But the big TLDR of this, okay, and you're going to love this, is or you're going to hate this depending on your politics. The left and the right are slowly starting to get equal political willpower, which is good and bad. It's bad because the political willpower on the left made them violently pillage the United States, colonize sovereign land belonging to the United States, and declare it autonomous, and on the insurrection of 5/29/2020, where the president had to hide into a bunker because leftist rioters decided to make the day after tomorrow into real life, and that didn't work out too well for anyone. Okay, I've in the show notes, and I do this for every Trevor report. Not this one because it got a little bit lazy. My bad. But I have every single previous show report linked down below in the description, and they're not like 3-hour streams like this one. They're like 20, they're like 15, 20, maybe 30 minutes at the absolute most. And they're just a recaps of current events where I give my opinions and I shout some things out that I think are cool or what I'm currently up to try to make my country better, for everyone. One key little thing there is that I'm essentially doing what I guess sane people on the left would do. Okay, it's not, and this is what conservatives in general need to stop doing. Okay, not this. This is actually the solution to the problems that conservatives have always had. That are interested exclusively in protecting things, which is annoying because then you end up having it so that conservatives are like protecting some weird debauching nonsense, and they're like, "Whoa, it's tradition in this country. We gotta protect tradition." No, you should protect wholesome traditions, and I've covered this in previous show reports. A definition of conservative is someone who protects and forges that which is wholesome. And that is what they're doing. Now, don't get me wrong, this is protecting something that is wholesome. However, and the wholesome thing, well, political participation isn't something that I would consider wholesome, but in the United States, it is something that could be considered culturally wholesome. Exercising your rights as an American is a part of the American aesthetic. So, by creating an election integrity institution, what you are doing is you are protecting and forging means of which Americans can continually engage in the American aesthetic, because that is what conservatism is. Okay? That the essence of conservatism is what I'm trying to get, is intuition and that which is wholesome. And this right there, it's not the best way of going about it. This is exclusively in the realm of politics, but it is leaps and bounds ahead of, oh gosh darn those Democrats. And then Mitch McConnell and Nancy Pelosi give each other a high five after they're done cursing at each other. But anyway, don't get me wrong. If only Mitch McConnell was up for re-election, dude. Oh man, I wish, but he's not. So it's whatever. It's fine. But oh, good, it didn't go down the wrong side of the throat this time. Let's continue reading. Let's get right back to it. EIN, which is led by Chairman Cleta Mitchell, uses a coalition model that was first used in Virginia to build coalitions in other states. Virginia focused on training poll workers and watchers so that there was 85 to 90% coverage of polls during the state's off-year election in 2021. Nationwide, more than 80,000 poll workers and watchers have been recruited. Ooh, oh boy, grassroots conservatism. You loved it. You loved to see it, dude. During a press call on Thursday, president and co-founder of the Virginia Institute for Public Policy, Lynn Taylor, said that last year the priority was cleaning voter rolls and recruiting poll watchers. The Virginia Fair Election Coalition was formed and had meetings twice a week for people to learn about election administration from experts in state and federal law. Quote, "We are solving problems in real time, not waiting until after the elections," end quote. The coalition focuses on bringing people together at the county level to ensure that elections are free, fair, and transparent, Taylor said. Virginia currently has 43 local or regional election integrity forces, which cover over 59 of the state's 95 counties. Boom. 2,000 mules ain't gonna happen, eh? All right. DCCC chair tells, did I get the number of C's? Whatever, don't care. Tells families fighting inflation to eat Chef Boyardee. Now, Chef Boyardee can be pretty expensive depending on the Chef Boyardee that you buy, but we're fine. Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee Chairman Rep. San Patrick is in a very tight race for a House seat in New York's 17th congressional district with Republican Mike Lawler. I'll be getting into the actual election results probably closer to before 7 or after 7. Like, I got a lot of things to cover. You know why? Because I'm trying to get smart with content creation. And in getting smart with content creation, I got to use as much content from the content that I've already created as possible. So basically, I have enough material right now for 2 whole Trevor reports in one. So on Wednesday, boom, I could put out the Trevor report. And then on Friday, boom, I could put out the Trevor report. Oh man. Yes. Yes. But anyway, let's continue. Normally, you would think that the DCC. Normally, you would think a DCC. Whatever I said enough times. Chair would be pretty safe, but Cook Political Report just moved the race to a toss-up on October 24th. Real Clear Politics also has it up rated as a toss-up. That's one more sign of how much trouble the Democrats are in the race for the House. Part of the problem is because of redistricting. A lot of the district is new to Maloney, so he doesn't necessarily have any goodwill to build upon those voters. And I'm just going to say, gerrymandering is like steroids in sports. You shouldn't do it, but then again, pitchers throwing 90-mile-an-hour fastballs is much more interesting than pitchers not throwing 90 miles an hour fastballs, like less, just a slightly less slightly less interesting, right? Another thing too, 70-mile-an-hour splitters. Like that takes steroids. you know, like I was in baseball for like when I was a kid for like 6 7 years. I could never throw a splitter. I wanted to. I never could, because it's hard to do. you know, let alone a 70-mile-an-hour splitter. Really. But anyway, like people are like, oh, the district's gerrymander. Have you seen AOC's district? I have never seen a more gerrymandered district than AOC's district. Now, I'm not going to play the sort of, oh, the left are hypocrites or whatever, because here's the thing: I know they're hypocrites. They know that I know they're hypocrites, and I know that they know that. Hang on, I know that they're hypocrites. They know that they are hypocrites, and I know that I know that they are hypocrites, but they are continuing to be hypocrites anyway, right? And I've actually even covered in depth the philosophical on my website. You got to be a member. Sorry, I put a lot of work into reading, and by that I mean like I read like a whole like 3 books trying to understand it. But if I'm gonna be putting my time into something, may as well monetize it. But essentially, there is this book called Repressive Tolerance by Herbert Marcuse, or I guess Herbert Marcuse is contributing the 3rd chapter in Repressive Tolerance. And essentially, he goes into detail about how it's actually okay for the left to be hypocrites, because hey, you know what? We're good guys, so we can do bad things in the name of being good. He actually straight up references cancel bad ideas in order to uplift good ideas. I don't know if he uses the word uplift, but he is basically, Herbert Marcuse is the philosophical origins of cancel culture. So, like they're they're hypocrites or whatever. Now, that being said, I wish districts weren't gerrymandered, but the thing is, the electoral college is the best way of going about a republic. Especially a republic of the size of the United States. The electoral college is sort of a necessary evil in order for the United States to be a functioning and stable country. So, oh well. But that's just how it is. And Republicans have been screwed over by gerrymandering. Independents have been screwed over by gerrymandering. Libertarians have been screwed over by gerrymandering. It screws over everyone a little bit to a degree, but at the end of the day, it's the way it is. And any alternatives wouldn't lead to very much stability. Not that the US is particularly stable, but anyway. Maloney just stepped on a rake when he was asked about how to address inflation. His response sounded like, "Let them eat, Chef Boyardee." This is where Red State goes into a little bit of the politicking with this, but essentially, eating cheaper food, it doesn't solve inflation, but it does help put more people's money in their pockets. He really should have just tried not helping, because the only thing he can realistically do that he could get the votes on to try and alleviate this would be to print money. And that's kind of the problem, is because you printed a bunch of money that we don't have, and now everything costs more because there's more money in the circulating supply and basic economics. Anyway, let's move on. Vaccinated my child without my consent. Rapper MIA unfolds on feds as COVID claims crumble. This is going live. So yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna check the chat real quick. I'm actually gonna check if D Live is working, because like I connected it. So should be working. Let me see. New. All right, it's sending the data, but it's not going. Why? Can't access the RTM data from right there. Oh well, I'm gonna stop sharing for a bit. Oh man, 20 minutes. This is usually when the Trevor report ends, and I usually speed through these articles and sped through that first article real quick, and still got the entire time left to go. Jesus. Well, it won't be on the official show notes, but I'm gonna check. I'm gonna check Getter. I'm gonna check Getter real quick. Let me just open a new tab real quick. A lot of people have been getting their election results on Twitter. People used to get their election results on Twitter, but Twitter is barbarism apparently, and everyone just kind of realized that around the same time. So yeah, well, it won't be in the official show notes, but it doesn't really seem to be on anything on Getter yet. A lot of people are just sort of talking around. So I guess what we'll do is we'll listen to Tom McDonald's new song. Let's see, Tom McDonald Fighter, because I heard he has a new song, and I haven't listened to it yet. But there's a bunch of reaction videos that are out there, and I want to be one of those reaction videos now, apparently. So yeah, I'm gonna share that screen, and then we're gonna go click that. We're gonna listen to Fighter. Let me just see if it's playing. All right, and then I'm gonna pause it so that I can actually see. I mean, it is just quiet, so I guess I'll just turn it up, and now I'll try it. All right, now I'm gonna wait to hear it, and I hear myself right now. Jeez, glad I'm not keeping this earbud in. Unreal. Number 15 to music, guys, go listen to Tom McDonald's Fighter right now, and get it to more views. Okay, I'm not kidding. Okay, come on. All right, turn it up just a little bit more. Sorry for hitting the microphone with my shoulder. I have broad shoulders now because I've been working out for like 8 months now, so unavoidable, as my room is still designed for my skinny fat self at the same time that it used to be. Anyway, let's do it. Oh, it's a feel good song, isn't it? All right. Okay. It was filmed well. Nova Rockefeller did a good job. All right. All right, we about to get to the chorus. There we go. Okay. Okay, Tom McDonald has had better choruses, but his feel-good songs never have good choruses. So that's fine. That's fine. But about a third of the way into that song, this isn't the rest. How's second verse? Okay. Huh? Okay.
Instagram post with a quote about believing in yourself when you're low. You don't think you're a fighter, I know you are. You are a liar. You say you are. You
Huh?
think that you're worth. I think you are. And I think you're perfect the way that you are.
All right, the chorus has grown on me a little bit. Use a little more synth, a little more bass, but other than that, it's pretty good.
I'm a believer, nothing is impossible. I'm a believer, I believe. I'm a believer, I believe. You don't think you're a fighter.
Hang on, does he have tattoos on his eyelids? All right, it's a good song though. He's a good artist. Wait. All right, there's that. Wait, is that just both Catholic stuff? Like, is he a Catholic? Is he Catholic? Because I know he's Christian. Because that's like a Catholicism robe thing. But I think that's, I don't know. I'm not Catholic myself, and I don't actually know what Catholics wear when they like preach or whatever. Besides the sort of Catholic black garb with like the collar or whatever, but you know, works out.
I'm a believer, I believe. You don't think you're a fighter, I know you are. You are.
Oh, that's why it doesn't have a synth. It's got a choir thing in the background. Okay, now that I hear that, so better. Huh. Nice. People get a little weirded out when they see like Rockefeller or whatever, but like that's like Tom McDonald's girlfriend is Nova Rockefeller, but that's that's like her stage name, her rapper name or whatever. People get a little turned off by that. It's like, oh, Rockefeller or whatever, but you know, it's not that bad. Let me just turn that off and close that tab. There we go. So that's Tom McDonald's new song. It's pretty good. It's pretty good actually. Wonder what else we could listen to like while we're waiting. It's just I don't want to get clear of all my show notes, so I'm periodically checking, you know, when like certain things, certain results, and checking things as I'm going, as I'm talking, and basically it seems like everything's going pretty good with everything so far. All right. Republican flip just got some news via Election Wizard over on Getter on 5:28 p.m. It's a 4-minute old post, so I guess it's 5:24 is when this is posted. Republican flip. Corey Mills, Republican, will take Stephanie Murphy's Democrat old seat in Florida's 7th congressional district. Let's go. Let's get all these stupid incumbents out. GOP could snag 3 or 4 House seats from Pennsylvania. Got that from Getter News via Newsmax just now. Quote, after two election straight years of disappointment in races for the House, Pennsylvania Republicans were almost universally beaming at the probable outcome of the races for 17 redrawn districts, down from 18 before the 2021 census and resulting redistricting, says John Gizzi. So yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool from that. I'm not gonna put it on screen, because if I put it on screen, I'm gonna have to put it in the link below, and I've already got like 30 links in the description. So yeah, And that's where everything's at with that. So yeah, about 30 minutes in. So time for a shameless shill, a shameless plug from yours truly. If I can get that in the show notes, there we go. Gonna hit share screen. Gonna go to window. All right. So this is my with Koji. And basically, what this is, it's pretty cool. On the actual tab, oh, there we go. Oh, that's annoying. Okay, I don't know why I was doing that. But anyway, this is my with Koji, and it's basically all of my links wrapped up into one. I'm starting a campaign that you can see right now. Let me just click it. It's an Odyssey membership, and on Odyssey with this thing, I'm gonna have exclusive members only live streams, members only chats, and things of that nature, and like it's gonna be absolute free speech paradise. Okay, and each little episode of these weekly live streams is gonna be themed. Okay, I'll be saying things and talking about concepts that I do not agree with at all. I'm gonna be looking into some like pretty outrageous and disgusting, brutal, like human garbage all the way through. And I didn't want to put it on the website, but the thing is it's going to be behind the Odyssey membership thing. One, because I wanted to get more people to my Odyssey, and two, doesn't really fit the website. I wish it did, but that's the way it is. That's the way it goes. But there's also this business of mine, social media services. It's a social media services business where basically I've noticed that people have issues transitioning to big tech, and people want to become creators, but they don't know how to video edit, or what they don't want to do is they don't want to edit videos, make clips, put those edited videos and edited clips out while recording for the show. Because honestly, even doing because I do research for all my show notes and things like that, and cooperating my sources and stuff like that, I put in about on a slow week about 30-35 hours on a intense news politics thing, like say a midterm. I'll probably put like 35, 40, maybe 42 hours, not a week, sorry, a month, it yeah into it. No, not a month, somewhere in that vague distance of time between what constitutes weeks and what constitutes a month, that isn't like the exact days measurement, is somewhere between 30 to 40 hours. And I don't even post every day. I post 3 days out of the week. This thing that I'm doing right now, it's a bit extra. I don't really do live streams, but depending on how the stream works out, I might do it more in the future. Who knows? Wink wink, nudge nudge, bow chicka bow wow. But that's how it works. Basically, graphic design, thumbnail generation. I actually have an entire graphic design team, which is just kind of neat. Got a video editing team, social media strategy team, and a social media management team. So basically, if you don't want to like if you want to make like a social media thing that's completely passive, where you just do the recording and we take care of everything else, I have a client that does that. I'm about to have two clients that do that. I have a couple social media management clients, and things of that nature. And thank you guys so much, by the way, for helping this business take off. It's been really neat, and I really appreciate it. Of course, there's my Getter on here. There's my Gab, but I don't do anything on Gab, so I don't know. It's a means for you to get in direct communication with me. Of course, there's the podcast via Odysseys right there. Pretty neat stuff. There's also the Acropolis News Network membership, and basically $10 a month, or $90 a year. I'll have a Black Friday sale coming up pretty soon when I figure out the prices for that. But basically, I'm gonna start hiring a journalist pretty soon. And if I could get more members to the website, I can do that because right now ANN, Acropolis News Network, is not exactly a profitable business, which kind of sucks. But you know what? It is what it is. What it is. It's how things it's how things go as it were. But you know that's kind of the way it is. So that's sort of why I've started this business this sort of affiliate marketing campaign where you promote memberships for Acropolis News Network and the associated products for those memberships, and in return, hey, you know what? Boom, you get you'll get a share of you'll get a share of the pie. And if you have over 1,000 followers and you convert 10% of your audience to that, I'll give you a bonus. It sort of depends on how much you are over 1,000. Let's say you have 1,000 Instagram followers, and by some miracle you manage to convert 100 followers. I'll give you a $500 bonus on top of the 10% commission you get for each conversion, which is kind of neat. You know, for if people pay for a yearly subscription, you know, and let's say you get all 100 people to pay $10 a month, you get $100, and okay, and you'll get a $500 bonus. And the best part, I renew the campaigns each month. So let's say like you have an Instagram account, it explodes, right? Because you probably do one of one of my business strategies as it were, right? Well, the campaign resets, and then you get another opportunity for that 10% conversion for that bonus. So yeah, that's the way it goes. There's also a bunch of neat stuff that's on there. And this is my second link tree. This is sort of a link tree that I embedded in my link tree, essentially, or like my all my links. Basically, where's my there it is. And on here, okay, it says like where you can get the podcast and stuff and things of that things of that nature, get the Getter, the Gab, the Instagram, the LinkedIn, you know, all that jazz, you know. But I am starting to do more and more academic work, where like I'm actually putting forward and publishing various essays and treatises. This is an old one, 7 months ago, but it's sort of a part one in a multi-part series for my first experiences with critical race theory, and it's a pretty long one. It's a fairly long article, you know, as it were. And again, it's part one in a series, and then there's this one that's behind the paywall on the website. But the TLDR of this one is I'm looking, and I'll be reading an article from Curtis Yarvin over on Yarvin's Substack, but I'm going into a lot of the sort of neo-reactionary stuff. So I'm going into a lot of so I'm doing my thoughts and reflections on critical race theory in written format. I've done that in video format by various podcasts, and I'm also doing the sort of neo-reactionary stuff from Curtis Yarvin and someone else. I don't remember his name. His name always escapes me. But I'm getting into that, and I sort of figured this is a much better alternative than running ads on a website. You know, it just is, you know. But sort of the way that's sort of the way that goes. But yeah. And then there's the general website, you know, there's the Nord VPN thing. So yeah, that's sort of the way all that goes. I'm gonna have to stop sharing screens again. I hit stop. Let's stop sharing. All right. So I'm gonna take a little bit of a break. I'll be right back.
thought that would be a little bit longer. What do I do? Is there a longer one? Nope. Are they all 30 seconds? Okay. Oh shoot. I don't use Restream that often. And when I did, I used it purely to multicast, but it is what it is. Let's see. I know I could do this. I don't stream like at all. I really don't. I don't like doing it. It's just not my cup of tea. Let's see. All right, let's see. Okay, not that one. That one's annoying. Let's see. All right, there's no lyrics to this one. This one's better. All right, I'll be right back. All right, and we're back. Sorry about that. Why is it still playing? All right, there we go. Might have been a little annoying. Apologize for that. And I'll definitely feel a little annoyed when I'm the one who has to edit that out. But yeah, maybe I won't edit it out. All right, whatever. So need to move on with the rest of the the rest of the show notes. But before we do, we're gonna skip along to segment 5 to get the current results for some of the polls. Now I got 3 sources on here. I got CNN, I got Fox News, and I got ABC. ABC. So let me just hit refresh, and refresh. All right. So currently, the Republicans have the lead in the House, and it is neck and neck with the Senate. It's pretty cool. Let's break it down a little bit, but let's also check Fox News. Fox News has 44 of Fox News splits it a little bit wee bit differently actually. The next polls close in 5 minutes. Am I seeing that right? Yep. Rubio seems to have been called. Scott seems to have been called. All right. So let's get into it. Ohio, Tim Ryan and JD Vance. It's 32% is reporting in. JD Vance is a little over 100,000 behind. We'll have to see how that goes. 8% of the reporting is in for John Fetterman. John Fetterman seems to have been winning, but I don't think the rural counties in Pennsylvania are starting to be counted yet. I think there's only like 1 or 2 of them that are currently being reported right now. Warnock and Walker are neck and neck in Georgia with 45.38% of the reporting in. Ted Budd is with 53% of the vote in. Is I'm gonna say that's neck and neck. Marco Rubio has been called apparently by Florida. It's been called. So yeah. But for Arizona, for Mark Kelly versus v Blake Masters, I'm really excited for Blake Masters, especially when he's sort of a part of. I don't know if he's a part of the Dark Enlightenment sphere, but he is a part. He is familiar with the Dark Enlightenment. And I'm really looking forward to a Blake Masters of victory, because I think it'll be very interesting, because he'll have a lot to say about it that isn't in the political sphere but in the philosophical sphere of it. Which honestly, I prefer talking about the philosophy of things over the politics of things. It's just the philosophy is just more interesting, you know. But yeah, it is what it is with that one. Let's see. Nevada isn't it not the polls haven't closed yet. New Hampshire has 15% of the vote in. The Democrat incumbent has almost a double lead, but let's see. New Hampshire is very notorious for not liking incumbents when it comes to the presidency. Let's see if it transfers later. Colorado hasn't. The polls haven't closed for Colorado yet. Tim Scott has the projected victory over Crystal Matthews, but only 24% of the reporting is in. So I don't know. I think Fox News should get their act together with that. Calling that, you call that election very early. Like even if all the things are considered, please just let's be a bit more reasonable, Fox News. But anyway, with Washington, the state of Washington, nothing's been reported yet. The state of Alaska, the polls are still open, like with Washington. The key House races. This is for Illinois, District 1. Oh, I did not mean to click that. whatever. I'll go back. I'll go back into it. Over 20% of the polling, of the reporting is in. The polls are closed, and the Democrat is leading a little bit. But as more and more of the rural counties start getting counted, as more of the sort of working class votes start getting counted, the Latino vote getting calculated more and more, we'll start seeing that. With Virginia, District 2, Jen Kiggins. I don't know much about her, but 57.7% of the reporting is in, and she's leading over the incumbent. Virginia District 7, very similar. 71% of the reporting is in with Yesli Vega. I hope that's how you pronounce that. If not, I will not apologize because I don't care. The lead 70% reporting in. The incumbent has a very narrow lead. We'll have to wait that one. Ohio District 1, over a third of the vote has been in. The Democrat currently has the lead over the Republican incumbent with that. And let's see. Wait, what's wrong with this? There we go. In Ohio District 9, same thing. New Hampshire District 01, 18% of the vote is in with that one. So yeah, and then we'll move on to Pennsylvania a little bit. The incumbent with slightly less than 10% of the reporting in has the lead for this Pennsylvania District 7. But again, we'll have to wait a little bit more. This is why I wanted to go into the results later. But it is what it is. For Pennsylvania, District 8, a little less than 2% of the vote is in. I'm gonna have to wait on that one. Polls haven't closed for 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 that one. 56% of the reporting is in for this North Carolina district. Bo Hines is making the reins, coming back in, but Willie Nickel still has lead. There's no incumbent with this race. 56.15% in. Johanna Hayes, the incumbent Democrat, slightly over 2% of the voting is in, and a little bit more of the stuff is being calculated. There we go. And I'm gonna have to wait on that one. Maria Elvira Salazar has been called with a 99% of the reporting. See, this is something, Fox. This is how you call an election right here. Just saying. Tiffany Bond, the independent, has 6% of the vote, and there's 3% reporting. I'm definitely looking in to this. I think this is Maine, right? ME for Maine. Yeah. This is Maine. Maine District 2. Looking forward to seeing that. If the independent, I haven't really looked into Tiffany Bond or the incumbent Democrat or the Republican. 7% of the vote. I will look to this one with much. I'm looking forward to this one with much promise. Polls will close for this Indiana District 3, but none of the reporting's in. So yeah, there's Kansas, I believe. Kansas. Yeah, Kansas. 70% for the incumbent, but less than 2% is in for the vote. So have to wait a bit on that one. Tom Barrett. 16% of the votes in. The incumbent Democrat is taking a bit of a back seat to this guy, but this I don't remember what O means, and this is why I don't like doing live streams. My brain is drawing a complete blank. But yeah, 2% of the vote. It's pretty good. Again, any independent libertarian, especially any of the Mises caucus people, that'd be really good. Angie Craig, 0% in, 0% in, 0% in, 0% in. Texas, 25% is in. Cassie Garcia is slowly closing in, again, as more and more of the rural districts are counted as more and more of the rural districts are counted in the polls. We're going to see We're going to see it go from Democrat to like we're gonna didn't mean to hit the microphone. We're gonna see graphs starting to go like this as it were. But yeah, California District 22. Well, the polls haven't closed yet for California, and Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has just been called. There we go. It looks like Brian Kemp is gonna defeat Stacey Abrams again, and potentially, Stacey Abrams might deny the results of her election again, and yeah, that's gonna be funny. I'm looking forward to that. That's gonna be hilarious. I know it's pronounced Arkansas, but I want to call it Arkansas, as in it's ours and not yours. Sarah Huckabee Sanders has just been called with 14% of the vote. Again, regardless of what party it's for, do better, Fox. Okay, if less than 60% of the vote isn't reported, please don't call races. Please. Henry McCaster, I'm going to say the same thing. Only 30% of the vote has been reported, according to you. Do better. Wisconsin hasn't been reported yet, or at least this district hasn't been reported yet. Gretchen Whitmer is taking the lead. There's a lot of third parties voting on this one, but Tudor Dixon is catching up, even despite all of this, which is pretty cool. But again, less than 10% of the votes in. Gonna wait. I'm gonna wait on that one. There we go. District in New Hampshire, Republican incumbent it has a pretty hefty lead, a narrow lead, but a hefty narrow lead. That doesn't make sense, but whatever, you get the point. Less than 16% has been reported. So again, I'm going to go back to that later. 7% of the reporting is in for this Lee Hutchell versus Kathy Hutchell versus Lee Zeldin. I cannot believe I just said Lee Hutchell. Yikes. But all right, so let's move on. Josh Shapiro is again a little over 10% in. Gonna have to wait on that one. With 35% of the vote called, reported, Fox News has called Ohio, which go ahead, I guess. I wouldn't do that myself, but you do you. That's fine. I'm gonna say the same thing every single time Fox News calls a race. Like, really, every single time Fox News calls a race, I'm going to be saying the exact same thing. Don't call races this early. If it's not at least 60% of the vote, this should just be a rule the media has. It just makes sense. Right. Kevin Stitt and Joy Hoffmeister, I hope that's how you pronounce it. They're neck and neck. The Independent has 1%, but less than 20% of that's been reported. The incumbent Democrat has a narrow lead in Maine over Paul Lee Page, but less than 5% of the votes in on that one. Narrow lead with Ned Lamont over the Republican candidate, a little over 11%, but we'll have to see. Let's see. All right, doing a little bit better, but the gap's still there. Rhode Island, 70%, 78.03 of the votes are in for Rhode Island. Some races have just been called by Fox News. I get that it's Vermont, but Connecticut. 11% of the vote is in on this race, and Ned Lamont is okay. 30% of the vote has been called. This is just getting really annoying. This is getting really annoying seeing that happen. I guess Fox News just has an itchy trigger. Itchy trigger finger. There we go. Try saying that 5 times fast. But Republicans just gained 10 House seats. Democrats just gained 5. It's currently, according to Fox News numbers, 41 to 39. There are 20 seats left in the Senate, and looks like Republicans have a current narrow lead with 64 Republicans to 26 Democrats. Let's go over to CNN's numbers. Let me hit refresh on that one. All right, they currently have the House split up as 41 Democrat, 88 Republican, 37 seats for Democrats, 38 Republicans for the Senate. Let's go with that red wave, boy. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Oh, they just have a bunch of they just have the tallies and the articles. Wow, that's annoying. Let's go to ABC. Yeah, ABC News dot Australia. Hang on, not dot Australia. No. I guess dot Australia. All right, that's it's a little weird. All right, so this is the numbers that ABC News Australia has. But 36 seats are not up for election. 29 seats are not up for election. The current split, according to ABC News, is 41 Democrats, 40 Republicans. Cartogram. No, let's go geographic. There we go. There we go. But the Republicans have a lead on the House, according to ABC News's numbers. But yeah, that's how it is. That's how it is with that. Let me stop sharing. This is some pretty good news, some pretty decent news for everyone at least. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Let's see. I gotta make sure that I actually sent the invite out to everyone. I'd be an idiot if that's what I did on accident. All right. Actually, let me just make sure, because you do use okay, it didn't go through on the phone. All right, let me copy that and then go to Gilded. Yeah, Gilded. Bunch of people just went live right now. Let's see. Yeah, let me also go and send it on Instagram again. This is why I hate doing Instagram on the phone, dude. So annoying. Like the invites didn't send. Whatever. Copy that. Now I'll go to Instagram. Well, that's weird. It's sent on that one. Sent on that one. Reason my bad. There we go. I knew something like that was going to happen, dude. I just knew it. But oh well. Let's see. All right. Everything's back to normal. I guess the show notes are going to be a little bit out of order, but I guess before any of the guests come on to the show, I'm going to read some Curtis Yarvin. Not kidding. This guy is You know, he's not he has some ideas. His solutions are a bit weird, which is fine. He's entitled to his own opinions or whatever, but he has some decent critiques. Now, this is a brief explanation of the cathedral over on Grey Mirror, and we'll get back and I'll basically keep going to the show notes and then to the election results, show notes, election results, show notes, election results. But anyway, here it is. I'm going to read a brief explanation of the cathedral, and I'm going to read it in full because why not? Definitely subscribe to his a Substack. Well, actually, so people support his Substack. I'm only gonna read it about halfway because that's the courteous thing to do. But it's the way that goes with that. All right, let's continue. I noticed more people using this label, which I coined a long time ago and have always had ambivalent aesthetic feelings about it. I used a capital C, but I see more of the minuscule. Oh, we got someone joining. I guess I'll read this incredibly hyper niche philosophy article from a programmer turned philosophical superstar. Later, we have Andres Segovia from the Andres Segovia Show. How you doing today, man?
What's up, buddy? Well, just getting home. It's a
Let me,
deluge out there, man. It's
let me make
crazy.
sure I can hear you, or the stream can hear
Let,
you.
let me know if you
All right.
can, because I think it's trying to come in through the Bluetooth.
Yeah, actually, it's going through. That's why I have the phone there. How you been, man?
Good, good. So you can hear me okay?
Yeah, and the stream can hear you just fine too. So
Awesome. Okay, that's what matters. So where are we? Did we lose our democracy or did we save the republic?
democracy is gay. Read Aristotle. But in all seriousness, let's. I just went over the election results. Fox News is calling a lot of races early, but they've called Republican races early and they've called Democrat races early. But let me just hit a refresher on that. Currently, the House is 68 Republican, 35 Democrat. And according to Fox News' analysis, I have CNN and ABC up as well. But the Senate is split 41 to 39, and the rural votes for a lot of these elections is just being counted. Fetterman has the lead in Pennsylvania, but only 13% of the vote is in. Marco Rubio won in Florida, or has been called by Fox News, even though
No, that one was
85% of the votes in for
it was
Florida.
confirmed. Yeah, that one was confirmed. Oops.
Oh, that one was confirmed. Okay.
Yeah, he won on the landslide.
Yeah. Tim Scott did pretty well in South Carolina, but only 32% of the votes in, which I've literally said like 9 times. I don't trust you to call elections unless at least 60% of the vote has been reported.
Exactly.
You know, in general, like Rhode Island is probably the only exception, and I think even a Democrat is winning in Rhode Island that got called, but I don't remember. Am I scrolling too fast?
Yeah, there's a lot of projected winners. I don't know if
Ron
you covered
DeSantis is
this one.
projected to
ABC
win.
News. ABC News was calling the Indiana Senate race for Republican Todd Young. They also called, as you mentioned, Republican Tim Scott winning in South Carolina. So that's ABC.
Yeah.
The Decision Desk, that's the one that I guess most of these news media rely on. They called Marjorie Taylor Greene. She won re-election in Georgia's 14th congressional district.
I'm not seeing Marjorie. Maybe I'll just hit find on this one. I didn't see Marjorie Taylor Greene on here.
Okay.
Oh, Marjorie Taylor Greene's not on the Fox News voter thing. It's MARJ, right?
MAR. Oh, I just had it right here. MARJORIE.
JOR. Yeah, Marjorie Taylor Greene's not on Fox News's thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Well,
that's a bit suspicious.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice. Ooh, 70 House seats for Republicans, at least projected, which is pretty neat. Let me go over to that's
well, the ones that are a sure bet are about the Republicans might pick up well, in total when all said and done is 227 seats. That's the last poll numbers I saw before I left my desk at work, and they only need 218 for the majority in the House. I don't know why I keep getting off frame. I only have one single camera on my phone. Anyway, besides that, all eyes are on the Senate. I'm looking at decision desk. It's a even split right now, 39-39. And we'll see what when the dust settles where that's going to happen. But
CNN's numbers. You ready for this? I'll share a screen. CNN have just officially given up. They have it at nearly 100 seats projected for Republicans, and they have Republicans in the lead for the Senate. CNN's numbers, which is pretty neat. Cory Bush won re-election, which kind of makes me a little bit tipsy. Don't like that woman at all, not one bit. It's literally her last name. Like, she's literally done nothing since she got elected, but it's literally just her last name. I hate her last name, you know?
Yeah, I don't even think she has anything to do with the family. It's just she has the name, as you mentioned.
No, it's just her last name. It's like how my last name's Brown. And I'm like, Jerry Brown. You know?
Yeah, and as you mentioned in the House, I'm looking at decision desk, their last updates. I'm getting off frame again. I only have a single camera. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's the way the restream sets up the framing.
I did, and I did cancel my subscription for the paid thing. So maybe it's just buggy because it's free.
Well, we'll see. Well, we have the official results as of 6:19 p.m. Pacific, so that's about now. It looks like the Republicans are 127 congressional seats. They picked up 2 so far. The Democrats are 86, lost 2 so far, and that's what's so far turning. The goal is
decision desk.
Decision desk, yeah. Results.decisiondeskhq.com. That's basically where all these media types are getting it from. So AP, Decision Desk, and I think CNN might be one of those considered official. I don't think Fox News is considered official, but
well, I mean, if CNN is considered official, they can extend the hand of greed and corruption to Fox News. They're basically the same institution as far as I'm concerned. But
yeah.
But like Greg's funnier than Colbert. That's literally the only difference. But let's see. Let's go to results.
Oh, what the
DDQ HQ results.
Yeah,
This is better. I have no idea how or why it's better than what I was already looking at, but it looks a little bit nicer, so I'll include it in the show notes tomorrow.
Yeah, I even think New York Times has one. I can't be even saying this. They also have a robust one, but what's this? Judge rules polls closed at 7 p.m. in Maricopa County, denying Lake Masters and the RNC lawsuit to move the deadline to 10 p.m. Oh, so they're trying to move the deadline to 10 p.m. because of what's been going on. Judge says no, they closed at 7. So that means they have about 39 minutes left to vote in Florida.
I have it in the show notes with the Maricopa County thing. Like, my show notes are completely out of order. Hang on. Let's see. I have like 30 tabs open that I'm trying to navigate my way through. I'm so sorry, everyone. But
there's just so much going on and trying to keep up with all the shenanigans today.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll do this segment with you. Right here. Let's see. Democracy's on the ballot, guys. Don't you guys just love democracy? Don't you guys just love just love it when a bunch of rich people create a coalition of rich people in order to trick people into voting against their own interests and then patting themselves on the back for it? By the way, not financial advice, but political advice. I don't have a Twitter account. However, I do know of a Twitter account called Nancy Pelosi Stock Trader. Now what you do is you go to that, and there's this I forget the name of this website, but there is a website where a artificial intelligence that automatically trades along with politicians.
Mhm.
Give the robot, again, not financial advice, this is political advice. Give the robot $50 and just be amazed at your 2000% margins, because you're just literally doing what warmongering neocons and neolibs are doing. But that's what they mean. Like, whenever these sort of uniparty types, the Mitch McConnells and Nancy Pelosi's, whenever they talk about democracy, what they mean in the sort of typical slimy Enlightenment fashion. I'm mostly kidding, but in this sort of typical fashion, they go, "Oh, democracy's on the ballot." What they mean by democracy's on the ballot is they mean, "Oh shit, they caught us. Fuck. What are we gonna do? Fuck. I can't snort cocaine and kill children in the Middle East. Oh no. What am I going to do?" Well, okay, Mitch McConnell would probably say that a little bit slower, but anyway, the TLDR
Very
is
slow.
we got this from US News. To make no mistake, democracy's on the ballot. The Hill, democracy is on the ballot. The Seattle Times, democracy is on the ballot. MSNBC, democracy. Okay, it did this new weird news website thing where it like refreshed and got rid of the history thing in the corner. But I had an MSNBC thing up that said democracy is on the ballot. So
Yeah.
yeah. Democracy's on the ballot from Al Jazeera. Democracy's on the ballot from the Intelligencer. Democracy's on the ballot from The Nation. Democracy is on the ballot. Democracy is on the ballot from TMZ. Democracy is on the ballot from The Times Israel. Democracy is on the ballot from the Boston Globe. Democracy is on the ballot from Democracy Ticket. Don't even have to say it because you already know. All right. And essentially, the point I'm trying to get is when they say democracy, when they say our democracy, they very much mean their democracy and not yours. America is a republic. We have things that aren't up to the democratic processes for a reason. Okay, we are not one nation with 330 million citizens, give or take 5.5 million illegals that have just been added, this presidency. But we are 50 independent and sovereign nation states in a coalition. Okay, we are not a democracy. California is a democracy within the Republic of the United States, even though California is technically a republic too, but
Yeah.
it's very much lowercase r, acrylic Sanskrit letters for the rest of that in republic, little Indo-European lettering instead of Roman, kind of republic. But that's the way it is. So whenever you see democracy, understand that it is a dog whistle. And later on, when I get into a brief explanation of the cathedral by Curtis Yavin over on his Substack Gray Mirror, understand that that this is the sort of that the cathedral is the sort of way of describing how every single institution says the same thing and every person in that institution says the exact same thing. Okay.
Like a
All
hive mind.
institutions naturally trend towards oligarchy, and the United States in particular, our non-elected institutions trend towards oligarchy. Our elected institutions trend towards oligarchy too, because any institution does, but it's kind of the way it is. But anyway.
Well, yeah,
What do you think?
I mean, the whole thing, besides being a gaslighting of people, of trying to say what isn't and what isn't is, in this case, they're trying to equate Democrat Party with democracy, when the Democrat Party couldn't be furthest from democracy in of it itself. They're basically saying, please, when you go vote, save democracy. Only vote for us. And if you don't, you hate democracy. It's like, hold on. So is this the end of the movie Dictator, where it looks like everybody has a free and fair election, and then the tank rolls over and scares the people to go vote for the other side, and then the dictator ends up winning a landslide in what was supposed to be a free and fair election? So that's the Sacha Cohen Baron film, The
We
Dictator.
always win, you always lose, and if you have a problem with that, we'll ban you from equal access to the public square. This is democracy. Yeah.
Yeah, and well, and that's what they're trying to equate because yeah, they have Democrat on their on the title of their party, but this is the same party that was for the Jim Crow South with the Jim Crow laws. They were the ones of the party, the Ku Klux Klan. They were the party that wanted to keep slaves, which is why they waged the Civil War against the Union of the North, which was the Grand Old Party. So they're trying to gaslight and say, "Oh no, there was a great switch." What great switch was there? When did it happen? And they control the narrative because, look, I said this on my live stream on Instagram, both last night and that one I didn't post to Instagram, but the one I did today for a coffee break, I did. And in it, I said I'm not as concerned as I was like for 2020. As I am for this election with respect to the Washington politics of things. What concerns me the most is what's happening in our own backyard with our local elections, because that's what has a generational impact. What happens in Washington every 2 years, it can be changed. But with the case of a generational impact, that is our local elections, our county supervisors, our superintendents of education, our judges, our council members. All these things, people overlook them, our propositions, our measures that tax us up the wazoo. We're so distracted by Washington politics that we forget about our own backyard. And that's why California is in a flux the way it is, because we're distracted by Washington.
If you're a
And
Californian, I
therefore,
really hope you voted no on all of them. Except for
exactly.
the final one, which gives San Bernardino County the opportunity for secession.
Well, that one is a San Bernardino thing. So I imagine
Yeah.
you saw that. And in the case of me, when I told everyone no on all propositions and whatever measure comes up, most likely is a no. In the case of San Bernardino County, the idea that San Bernardino County, this whole thing has been really quiet. And like, do you guys not realize that we might lose the biggest county in California to become its own state? It's like, that's how bad things are here. I actually invited a group, but I don't want to say who they are yet, just in case.
I'm completely in favor of, as a resident of San Bernardino County, if we become our own state, I'm perfectly okay with that. We can drill for our own like water. You
Right.
know, we have all the fiber optic lines. You know, we have all the trade.
And you don't have to move from California anymore, because you were going to be part of CalExit, and there you go. You don't have to be anymore. I didn't leave California. California left me.
Okay, check this out. Greater Idaho, right, takes the northern part of California because they want to become the state of Kansas, but I don't see that happening. But what I do see is they become Greater Idaho expands, leaving them the opportunity to take Northern California. And then in the single greatest act of gerrymandering in the entirety of human history, there's this giant line in the middle that kind of does an oval shape so that one half of the state can be connected with the other half of the state, so that it can sort of stretch its way through, kind of do like a little bit of a banana on the bottom to connect with all of San Bernardino County, so that it could all be Greater Idaho, and we can change the state from Greater Idaho to Greatest Idaho. Basically, that's the Greatest Idaho. It'll have something to the effect of 90 electoral votes, and it will be the ultimate swing state, and every county will be rural. and Republicans win forever, you know.
Quite honestly, this is a pivotal time with a lot of the things changing. Guam sent their first Republican delegate in like 30 or 40 years. I forget that the territories can provide their own delegates, but well, there it is. What else do we have? Oh, it looks like Sarah Huckabee, the daughter of Mike Huckabee, who used to be the governor of Arkansas. She won the Arkansas race for governor. So, like, follow like daughter. Yeah, so that's interesting. I just saw that thing pop up. Jim Jordan won his seat again, so he got reelected. It
Jim
looks like
Jordan's pretty good. He could be a little bit more fire and brimstone, but it is what it is.
he could. I hope that big tech doesn't have him by the balls. So there's concerns
Well,
about that, but I do like him. Don't get me
Listen,
wrong.
Jim Jordan. Okay, what you do is you get a Getter account and you close your Twitter account and you open a Rumble and you turn off your Odyssey. You're welcome. You could also go to sms.theacropolisnews.com and I'll help make that transition for you. Just in exchange for a fair rate. Just saying. But gotta do the shill. Gotta do the shill whenever you can. Speaking of shills, I'm gonna share screen so that I can do another shill. Let's see, where's the show notes? There it is.
All right, and just giving you a heads up, I have a few more minutes left before I have to go get going to dinner. So hold on, there's like breaking news with Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
there's breaking news in Pennsylvania.
Ooh, there is?
So there's 49% of the vote is early.
Oh, wow, that's a lot.
Yeah. So far, they're claiming that 600,000 of that early vote has gone to Fetterman.
Well, they would say something like that, wouldn't they?
Yeah, I can't see the numbers for Oz.
Hold on, I'll just go to Fetterman.
They're not okay. I'm gonna have to check that out. All right, let's see. Decision desk.
Well, Fox has 20% of the reporting, and has still has Fetterman in the lead. But to be fair, like they could have, like the Republican Party, especially Trump, could have picked someone better than Oz.
Oh, they would have, but
he's such a snake.
There's a lot of politics that went into all that, and just like Trump was, he endorsed Laura Loomer on the last election cycle. He didn't endorse her this time, which I found pretty strange. I think he was talked out of it. But look at this. This is interesting. The governor's results, at least for Pennsylvania so far, with an estimated 14% already reported, almost 70% is going to Josh Shapiro and less than 29% to Doug Maestrano. I have a hard time believing that. Pennsylvania would be the most questionable of all of them, especially since they admitted they're not going to declare a winner today. They're going to keep counting for a few days, unless the results go their way, right? But unless it's not going well for them, they're going to call lid. But I thought for sure Doug Maestrano should be neck to neck with Josh Shapiro, which is why there was such a firestorm against him, because he was on Gab. And the Andrew Torba, who's the CEO of Gab, he endorsed Doug Maestrano, and Doug Maestrano, I think, spent about $5,000 worth of ads on Gab, and that's what was used against Doug Maestrano to say, oh, he's anti-Semitic because of Gab and its platform and the people you might find there. Blah,
Okay,
blah, blah.
well, Facebook is anti-Muslim because they cooperate with the NSA. This is ridiculous levels of guilt by association. Now, don't get me wrong, Andrew Torba is an anti-Semite. He said it out loud. He's very vocal about it, and he talks about Jews a lot. But it is what it is. Like there's a reason I'm not very active on Gab, and it's because like it's mainly it's mainly the people who have been banned from the internet. But like, who cares? Like, I'd rather have a presence on Gab than not have a presence on Gab. I'd rather be a sane voice on Gab, and have that exist. The same thing with you, and the same thing with I don't know if BZ has a Gab, or
I think I did speak to him. This didn't make the episode. He did say he used to have it, and the Groypers believed that BZ was all in with them, and then when they clashed, they're like, "Wait, I thought you were one of us." Like, dude, I'm just doing me. So some of them were like turning against him because they're like, "Oh, we thought you were one of us," and BZ's like,
no,
"I'm
he's
not
gone
one
through
of
his
you."
like peaceful Christian arc, basically, and he's done it. He's explored it through like his Splat Rabbit comics.
Mm-hmm.
Where The little bunny turns into the Hulk, grabs a hammer rigged with explosives, and blows up the city. But the typical peaceful fashion of this comic series.
Yeah. By the way, people go check out Splat Rabbit art
Mm.
on Instagram. Yeah,
Oh
it's,
yeah.
that animation is so good. And for anybody curious, how he produces it, we did talk about how he goes about a daily comic strip, on my podcast. So that was very insightful and very fun too. So that was great. And I'm running up on time. I got about 3 minutes left, but
Okay.
with respects to
Anything you
everything
want to
that's
shout
going
out,
on,
you shout it out, bro. For
what's that?
all the one people watching, go ahead and shout it out.
Oh, well, they can follow me across the socials with the exception of Twitter at the Andres Segovia. I have a presence on Twitter. My main account is the one that I used to have, and that one I deleted over a year ago. But I did have a business account that I then used it to just have a presence to mirror my stuff. Although with Elon present now, it's made it a lot more fun. So I keep an eye on things. Like, okay, if this goes the way I think it might, it's not going to be a free speech platform. Don't get your high hopes, but a little more, I guess, engaging, if you will. Then I might be active there again. But that's underscore Andres Segovia on Twitter. For those that just are on Twitter, would like to see my stuff mirrored there. I actually have my Gab mirroring to Twitter, so that's how I avoid having to post it. And almost everything I have is automated to just post to Twitter. So it's like, dude, Andres is on Twitter. It's like I'm not the one posting. So I have everything just going over there. But hey, if he allows for extra characters on the username, and I'll be able to turn it to Dion Segovia and then get it verified, then I might reconsider having a presence there along with engagement. But other than that, just letting everybody know that if you're still in the Pacific, if you're in the Pacific Coast, the polls don't close until 8 p.m. You can still go vote. Your vote does
I
count,
know it's
even
I
though
know
it's
it's
California.
raining in California, but I voted
Exactly.
in the rain, and you can too.
I went in the rain with my wife and my infant child. So that didn't stop us from going to vote. Don't let the clouds be the racist voter suppressors. Go out there and appreciate that we finally have rain because we've been in the drought. So it's just I know some people are going to feel it's California. It doesn't really count. Local elections matter. Absolutely
And
do.
for those of you who are saying it's California rain, it doesn't count. It matters to us. So shut up.
Yeah, yeah, because one of the things that people don't realize, this actually happened in the city of Compton. Yeah, that's in South California. Everybody should know where Compton is, straight out of Compton. I actually was born, I was raised there, so it's
Oh.
my backyard. But with respects to Compton, there was a election. I think it was a 2020 election that was contested there. I don't know, or it might have been a primary. It was for the city council, if I'm not mistaken, or it might have been for mayor. It was decided by 4 votes, and the judge voted that those votes were illegal and therefore tossed out, and then the results overturned. It is possible. It does happen.
Hang
And
on. You can't say something about the 2020 election YouTube rules, but for context, YouTube, he was referring to the election of 1832. There we go.
yeah, yeah,
It's
that's the
fine
one I
now.
meant. That's the one I meant. I'm sorry, I screwed up my history there. But yeah, the point is, it's happened before. Yeah.
Eh.
But hey, Trevor, thanks for having me on. And we'll see where the chips land.
Hey,
I'm
no
just
problem.
most interested
I
in
don't have
local
the
stuff.
paid version, and I got someone else trying to come on, so this works out. Apparently, I can only get one person on at a time.
What? Alrighty.
Yeah,
Well, yeah,
I'm
I should send you
switching to
the
StreamYard.
yeah, I thought I sent you the referral link for StreamYard. I'll send it to you.
Yeah,
I think it works out better. But anyway, I'm jumping off now. So good
yeah.
luck to you
Later,
tonight,
man.
and I'll see you on the socials.
Yeah, see you later, mate. Yeah. All right, let me get this. Let me get this other guy on right now. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Wait. All right, let's see if it works now.
Let's see. Let's also get it up onto YouTube and make sure it's working out just fine. There we go. Let's move this forward. While we're waiting for him, let's get into a few. Let's get into the show notes just a little bit more. I hit my microphone again. I'm sorry about that, but yeah. So I'll hit refresh on that and get back to it later. I wanted to shout out my. Wait, that's not the right one. Wanted to shout out my. Let me hit refresh on that for later. Wanted to shout out my my getter. My getter got hacked, and he's holding it for ransom. So decided to make a new one. Made this a week ago and already at 93 followers, completely and 100% organically. And yeah, I'm about to start the next campaign to get it to grow it again 100% organically. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, works out. I'll be at my regular follower account. Hopefully by the end of the month, which is honestly pretty cool. Let me go into following. Let me go to this one. Let me go to the following. Oh yeah, he also blocked my new account. So yeah, but anyway, make sure you go and support independent Christian artists like at Avine Arts. I wish I could shout out BZ Tollinger for the Spider Rabbit comics over on here as well, but can't, unfortunately. But yeah, so you could get, like, there are a lot of people getting a lot of election news on Get a Race Alert. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene wins re-election to the U.S. House, Georgia 14th Congressional District from Election Wizard. Election Wizard's on here. A bunch of other people are on here. Texas Governor Greg Abbott has defeated Democrat Beto O'Rourke. Yeah, stupid Beta. But anyway, race call. Brian Kemp has won re-election in Georgia. J.D. Vance has captured the lead in Ohio for the U.S. Senate race with estimated 45% reporting. Yeah, like this is pretty cool. Like, this is honestly great that I can get this on here. Okay, have a presence in the public square, an organic presence in the public square, reach millions of people, and be able to talk about the things that are actually going on without being treated like a second-class citizen. Kind of like this. Beyond Twitter, there has been a groundswell of discussions about Maricopa County on fringe media platforms, with that are currently fueling the biggest volume of content. Conversation around the tabulation system errors spread rapidly on Twitter. We have observed 40,000 relevant tweets in the span of 2 hours. Basically, someone replied to this guy, or he retweeted or something. I don't know. I don't remember, but they're like, oh, conspiracy theories. It's not a conspiracy theory if it happens. Like, it's not a conspiracy theory if you could see it. If you could see it happening in real time, it's not a conspiracy theory. Okay, the video comes from a poll worker. Okay, where's the video? Oh my God, Zero Hedge, your things need to load faster, dude. Come on, let's see. Is it this one? I think it's this one. There we go. This video is a representative in a poll institution saying that the machines are not working.
Can you start from the beginning and repeat that? So what happens, we have two tabulators. One of the tabulators is not working, okay? The other tabulator is taking about 75% successful. So 25% of them are being misread, and it could be a printer issue, or it could be the tabulator itself. So when it's misread,
so basically, this machine can't understand a yes or no question written down on paper. This machine does not understand basic arithmetic at a kindergarten level. This is patently absurd. Like, I don't like if the machines, when they're not working properly, or even when they're working properly but barely working, they can't do basic arithmetic. Literally, these machines are designed to make the arithmetic of counting votes easier for poll counters. The only reason we have these election machines is not because Americans don't know how to count, which, given that it's America and my fellow Americans, perhaps they are. Perhaps they do have difficulty going 1 ballot, 2 ballot, 3 ballot, 4, 5 ballot, 6 ballot, 7 ballot. They all voted no, like that kind of thing. Okay, but I mean, like, really, come on. It's just absolutely patently infuriating. So now, once again, okay, this happened during the midterm. It's happened during this midterm. It happened during the primaries. It happened during the election in 2020. It happened during 2018. Count over and over, and I'm sure it happened in other elections too, countless times, over and over and over and over again. Maricopa County is just being retarded, stupidly retarded, unnecessarily retarded, over and over and over again. Okay, and since these machines keep like, look, even if you just let's absolutely straw man voting machines. Okay, let's absolutely straw man them. Okay, they work until they break. And then the convenience of essentially having a calculator that flips through pages while calculating simultaneously, basically what a voting machine is, right? It can't do its job. Now, a human being needs to take a break, and they'll take mistakes. Okay, human psychology says that humans are trusted more than. Okay, let's see if you're still having trouble. Tired of sure. Well, all right. Well, that's that then. He's having trouble getting on. Kept refusing him to join in. Restream is not what it used to be, guys. But anyway, so it is what it is with that one. What was I talking about again? What was I talking about? Oh yeah, straw manning these voting machines. Okay, it's not used because it's impossible for people to count. It's not because people don't know how to count. Okay, which is I don't believe for a second. Okay, what it's about is that these machines are too faulty, and it's not because we don't have the technology. Okay, we go to space. Okay, I'm streaming this on a computer. Computers can do a lot of great things, but it just gets to a point where you just have to say, you know what? If we employ this technology in order to have stuff for convenience for us, because the thing is, you worry about convenience when things work. Okay, right now, where I'm currently streaming, it's raining. Okay, if I didn't have a roof or insulated walls, I wouldn't be worried about streaming. Okay, I'd be worried about a roof and insulated walls. Okay, if I was also hungry on top of being cold because I had no roof and insulated walls, I'd probably try to eat some food before I tried to make myself. I'd probably try to hunt some food. Hunt and cook for food before I worried about the comfort of having insulated concrete walls and wood and stuff. I'm not a carpenter, but that's what it is. So But for some reason, again, and it's probably because it's my fellow Americans, and for whatever reason, my fellow Americans have this propensity for laziness. They're in Maricopa County. They're worried about convenience over functionality. Okay, if Maricopa County is consistently having problems again and again and again and again, then what is the point in election machines? Okay, before you try to make things more convenient for you, you fix the basic problems. You make sure that under normal circumstances everything can run smoothly before you add a bunch of unnecessary complications to it. I need to take a drink. My mouth's starting to get dry. If I didn't have enough water, probably wouldn't shoot anyway. So let's get into more of these show notes. Let's see. Let's go to here. Did I already go through that? Yep, I already went through all that. I need to close some of these for my own convenience. I already have it saved via Notepad. But anyway, let's get into the final segment that I have for these show notes, and then I got two neat things to read before I'll get in, and I'll read them one at a time or whatever. But let's see. Let's get to. There we go. So there's this video right here. Let's play it without the audio because anyway. So there's this it's been confirmed that he's a Democrat poll worker, and he just he's a Democrat poll worker. It's been confirmed, and he just straight up lynches this black girl. Perhaps it's a bit of a okay. He didn't lynch her, but for edgy humor reason and because I'm a history nerd, I want to say lynch. This is obviously politically motivated. The way lynchings were politically motivated, and he just straight up manhandles the thing, and it just straight up manhandles his throat, just full on Darth Vader, but physical, and it just gets to a point where I am so sick and tired of people saying the Democrats are the real ones who are violent. It's yes, I know they spent all of summer 2020 violently pillaging the country. Yes, they did. And the hat-on dress on earlier, no fault whatsoever. But it's the same thing. The Democrats are the real racists. Yes, they are. But you're missing the point. And, it all harbors back to Repressive Tolerance by Herbert Marcuse. I did an entire breakdown over this over on the American Gaku's podcast, a premium podcast over on theacropolisnews.com. But, I digress, right? President-elect Biden says it's time for America to unite. And then he does his Hitler speech or whatever. North Dakota man ran over and killed a teenager. This is political. This is violence in pursuit of political aims. The definition or violence in pursuit of political and or religious aims. The textbook definition of terrorism. Okay, and then someone shot at Republican candidate Pat Harrington's North Carolina home. His family, including his young daughters, were almost killed. GOP New Hampshire Senate hopeful Don Bolduc dodges punch from a would-be assailant before debate. Last night, one of our canvassers for Marco Rubio, who won by the way, wearing a T-shirt and a DeSantis hat, was brutally attacked by 4 animals who told him Republicans aren't allowed in their neighborhood. He suffered internal bleeding, a broken jaw, and will need facial reconstructive surgery. Okay. Oops, my bad. There's more. Let's see. There's a man charged with threatening to kill a Republican gubernatorial candidate. And then he says, vote like your life. And then Andres says, vote like your life depends on it, which it does. It does. Don't get me wrong. Like, you know, it does. It does. Okay. But let's get into, well, actually, I'll get into all of that later. Let's get into the election results with the polls. I'll refresh this, and then I'll refresh this. Let's go to Fox News first. Let's go through. I've already explained in a previous show report in the show notes, which will be down below tomorrow. All previous show reports linked down below in the description, etc., etc. You know, but I've gone over this in like honestly painstaking, excruciating detail. How there's no point in calling the left hypocrites. There's no point to any of it. There's really not. Okay, but let's get into it. According to Fox News numbers, 18 Senate seats are left in play, with Democrats having 42 to Republican 40. 80 looks like Republicans have almost double over the Democrats for House seats, and there's a lot of rural districts to go. All right, let's see. My congressman, because I'm in San Bernardino County, Jay Oberman, he's up for election. He's likely going to get reelected. You know, so that's the way that goes. JD Vance has a lead over Tim Ryan and is getting higher and higher and higher with 61% reporting. Yes. Mehmet Oz is closing the gap on Fetterman, according to Fox News's polls and calculations. Herschel Walker has officially done this on Raphael Warnock. Is it Raphael or Raphael or like the AE makes the I sound in Latin? So is this an Anglo-Saxon Raphael, or is this a European Raphael, or is this Raphael? This is, I don't know. It gets confused. People say it's Raphael Warnock, but you know, it's just, I don't know. It's just me. New Hampshire, 23% in. Polls are closed. Maggie Hassan. Is it Hassan or Hassan? Either way, you know, but she's in the lead. Ted Budd has closed the gap and got a very narrow lead with a 70% reporting for Cherry. That Florida thing's already been called. Arizona isn't in yet. Wisconsin is a neck and neck race between Ron Johnson and Melinda Barnes. Ron Johnson is the incumbent. I'll take a look into that later. Colorado has been called this Colorado Senate or House seat. Oh, these are all Senate races. Okay, this makes my job a little bit easier. I should have paid more attention. Colorado, one of the Senate seats has been called. South Carolina, Tim Scott has been called. Already talked about that. Washington hasn't been reported yet. Alaska's at 1 a.m. Eastern time, so I'm not gonna get into Alaska because I'm not streaming that long. There's no way in hell. Frank J. Mervin, neck and neck race for. Well, these are House races now. This is Indiana. We'll see how that goes. Virginia, the Republican has closed the gap for that 2nd district and closed the gap for that 7th district. And 83% of the votes in Hung Chow or Hung Cow, however you pronounce that, has a gap to close. But again, I'll see into it later. This Ohio district, the Republican incumbent has a gap to make before he can start overtaking this fairly substantial Democrat lead. The same thing for this other Ohio District 9, New Hampshire District 1, same thing. Pennsylvania District 7, 50% of the reporting is in, and Susan Wild has just over a 10% lead, nearing 11% lead. Matt Cartwright, the incumbent Democrat in Pennsylvania District 8, a very similar situation over Republican Jim Bognet. Colorado District 3, Adam Fisher with 12% reporting has nearly 20% lead over the incumbent Lauren Boebert. We'll have to see into that one a little bit more because Lauren Boebert is kind of a Republican AOC. And so definitely we'll see some of the more rural counties being counted, and then we'll see. So yeah. The polls are closed for Nevada, but we don't see any results according to Fox News, so I'll just skip it. Wiley Nickel, fairly similar situation with some of the others at the close. Maria Elvira Salazar has won Florida District 27. So yeah, or at least Fox News has called it, but as I started suspecting, when the more we started counting these rural districts, the more we start seeing more and more of these things come in. Vicente Gonzalez, I think that's how you pronounce that in English, but and maybe even Spanish too. Vicente, or whatever. But anyway, the point is very similar thing. As we start seeing more and more of the stuff be counted, I'll take a look into that. I'll be taking a look into that again. Cindy Axne, however you pronounce that, very similar situation. A lot of the votes to be counted. That one's starting to be tallied a little bit. Sheriff Davids, 50% is being reported this Kansas district and has a 30% lead. We'll have to see. I don't know why people are texting me about other things right now. Oh well. Let's see. Michigan District 8, like the same situation we've talked about in others, but in the reverse, as it were. Where the hell? There we go. New Mexico. I'm not even going to talk about. I'm not going to talk about that one. California District 22. The polls are still open for California. Polls are still open for apparently Arkansas as well. Brian Kempf in Georgia looks like he's going to win. But the thing is, though, there are still more votes to be counted. We'll have to see. Democrat has been called for this thing in Illinois. Texas Governor Greg Abbott has been called, and we've already talked about that. I'll take a look at that Wisconsin one later. Take a look at that Nevada one later. Take a look at that. Well, actually, Gretchen Whitmer and Tudor Dixon in Michigan are neck and neck with less than 20% of the vote being counted. Definitely looking forward to seeing that one with great promise. The Republican candidate has been called with less than 30% of the vote in on that one. Okay, well, Andres said that the Sarah Huckabee Sanders one has been confirmed, and not just projected winner, but it's also been confirmed. So I'll take that. Henry McMaster, South Carolina, has been that with 47% reported. I'll take a look at that later. Pennsylvania, Josh Shapiro versus Doug Mastriano, 37% has been reported. He's got a bit of a gap to close. Yeah. But anyway, Kevin Stitt. I'm gonna open this one in a new window and save that for later because that looks interesting. That main election that we were looking at, Mills versus LePage, 26% is being reported, and it's still neck and neck. That Connecticut one's been called. That Rhode Island one's been called. 80% reported. Fox News, that's less than 20%. Get your act together on that one. With Connecticut, Laura Kelly's got a pretty substantial lead, but only 22% has been counted. Jared Paulus, 52% has been counted again. Patience is a virtue. Fox, really, it's not a virtue that I particularly engage in. When I took that break, I was just shoveling cookies in my mouth, and by shoveling cookies in my mouth, I mean I ate one cookie, and it took me 7 minutes to eat that single cookie. But anyway, according to CNN, they've given up. The Senate's still neck and neck, according to CNN. But it is what it is, and Republicans have what is it? Republicans are looking to take the House. Republican Governor Kristi Noem will win re-election in South Dakota. It's 10 p.m. Eastern, and polls are closing in these states 5 minutes ago. Montana, Nevada, and Utah. We'll have to take a look at that one. CNN projection: Republican Governor Phil Scott will win re-election in Vermont. Governor Kevin Stitt will win re-election in Oklahoma. We've covered a lot of these. They all seem to be on that. But I'm going to take another short water break. And by a short water break, I mean I'm going to finish this one and start guzzling down this second water bottle, and then reach over for my tea on the other side of my desk because I'm really thirsty. This is why I don't stream. Really. Ooh. Oh well. Now I'm getting my tea. Ooh. I don't drink coffee because I hate coffee, but tea has a little bit of caffeine in it, and it's basically the way it is. So some more flavorful than water. There we go. All right. So let's do I want to read the incredibly hyper niche article, or do I want to read this one? Bruh, come on. This work. There we go. This is an article that was pointed out to me from November 3rd. It's particularly interesting. And I just thought I'd shout it out and read a little bit of it. Again, support People's Independent Substack or whatever. But anyway, Joe Biden and the Democrats have a big problem. It isn't just that they stand to lose in elections and maybe the presidency in 2024. They stand to lose much more than that. They stand to lose everything. The American people by now have had enough. They're sick of cowards who cannot stand up to the activists who control them. I'll skip that paragraph. In 2020, a new woke order exploded on the streets and it looked a lot like a rehearsal at Evergreen and across many college campuses all over the country. It wasn't all of the Zoomers leading the charge, but the activists have been loud and powerful. They have captured corporate America and nearly every cultural institution in the country, and they've even captured Joe Biden and the Democrats. We're going to read a brief explanation of The Cathedral by Curtis Yavin very, very soon. But yeah, that's the way it is. If you want to see the rest of the results, I'll be covering the rest of the results tomorrow on Wednesday, because I want to spend the rest of the time going into this hyper niche intellectual nonsense because it's fun for me, and I made the decision to keep going till 8 o'clock. So that's the way it is. Oh, this is why I prefer doing recorded stuff, but it's just I don't know. This is the way people do it, and I hate doing content creation this way. Anyway, the only reason we don't hear about it more is that any dissident is viciously attacked until an apology is squeezed out like the last bit of toothpaste in an empty tube. It is too much trouble to endure all of that panic and hysteria, so most people keep their heads down and hope it'll pass. Okay, so what you do is if you're one of these people that has a Twitter account and people are like, oh, what you do is you press down on the Twitter app, and then eventually you'll see a thing on the top right hand corner of the screen that says delete app, and then you just move your finger over to that, delete the app, and you'll stop getting the messages. Then, when the corporate press invites you onto the thing as a pariah, and they say, "Will you apologize for what you did?" You just sort of stare at them and or the camera blankly, and then say, "No, fuck off." That's it. That's all you do. I'm literally gonna get this out of the way right now. If I ever am attacked by a bunch of secular Catholics demanding an apology from me for not adhering to their orthodoxy, you can just sort of share this around, and I'll put it in a clip too, and you can share that clip around as well. But anyway, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Fuck off. It's literally that. It's literally that simple. It's literally that simple. But anyway, let's continue. Joe Biden doesn't yet understand this. Most Democrats don't. Not even the new stars in the party, like Gavin Newsom or Pete Buttigieg, not even Beto. They falsely believe that is what they must do to win Twitter and win points on the left. The exact opposite is true. Although one must develop rhino skin like Elon Musk or Trump, the future will be with those who push back loudly against this ongoing madness. In the past, we might have had some reality checks with people like Jon Stewart, Steve Colbert, John Oliver, Jimmy Kimmel, or SNL, but no, they've been sucked into the body snatchers too. And their comedy isn't comedy at all. They work for the Democrats, just like much of the media. If you still watch late night television, understand that you are watching a sermon from secular Catholics. And then he goes into the polls and does some more explanations. If you want to understand more, if you want to go a bit more in depth of this Substack from Sasha Stone, you'll have to support the original creator. That's it. You'll have to subscribe to her Substack and read it, because this will stop me. There it is, a brief explanation of the cathedral by Curtis Yavin. The mystery of the cathedral. The mystery of the cathedral is that all the modern world's legitimate and prestigious intellectual institutions, even though they have no central organized connection, believe in many ways that as if they were a single organized structure. For instance, in 2021, Harvard, Yale, The Times, and The Post, are on the same page. If there exists any doctrinal difference between any two of these institutions, any of these two prestigious American institutions, it is too ineffable for anyone but a Yale man to discern. In 1951, Harvard, Yale, The Times, and The Post were on the same page, but Yale in 1951 was nowhere near the same page as Yale of 2021. If you could teleport either Yale into the other's time zones, they would see each other as a den of intellectual criminals. Moreover, this mystery is critical to the nature, fate, and epistemology of our society, because we regard the distributed nature of these prestigious and trusted institutions as inviolable principle of our intellectual security. We would never concede this level of axiomatic infallibility to a single organization, like the Catholic Church. That would be putting all of our brains in one basket. No egghead would make that mistake. And indeed, our samples seem only nominally independent. While we can detect no obvious organizational connection between them, they are highly correlated, and they retain these correlations even as they move across long periods of time. But the physical and human situation of the arts and humanities, of philosophy, ethics, literature, religion, and politics has largely been unchanged for millennia. We see no evidence of any intrinsic or unidirectional force that should be coordinating these fields, yet these are just the fields that seem to be moving the fastest. The institutions of the cathedral are not relevant as hierarchical command structures. They are not an army of ideas like the church. The dean of chemistry does not tell the chemistry professors what God thinks they should think about Don't care about pronouncing the word anyway. Rather, the cathedral operates as a discourse, not an army of ideas, a marketplace of ideas. The institutions are just brands, marks of prestige. Ideas in this market evolve. They reproduce by being taught, they manipulate by being taught, and they are selected by By what? If we want to know what a Darwinian system will evolve, we have to look at what the selective pressures on its organisms. What is our cathedral selecting for? First, let's look at the soundest part of the building, math. Math in the marketplace ideas is straightforward. Error is not tolerated. Priority is rigidly expected. Even the importance and quality of mathematical results is generally agreed on. In fact, even in the Soviet Union and Nazi Germany, pure mathematics did particularly well as a field. Yeah, I've gone in depth on the Soviet Union and Nazi Germany over on the AcropolisNews.com. I can concur. But anyway, the hard sciences are supposed to work like math in certain places, certain fields, in certain ways. They do. I'm skipping a couple. I'm like every couple paragraphs. I skip a paragraph because I want to encourage people to read um, Curtis Yarvin's Substack. I don't agree with much of his solutions, but he does have some. His observations are sound. I'll definitely admit that. In a few places, they are completely broken. Though this, of course, depends on your definition of hard. But in science already, we sense that there are other forces, that the selective advantage of an idea may not be solely driven by the quality of that idea. That while some shared sense of quality does remain intact, it is starting to feel like an eroding legacy. And to the east of this science, the debate between 1951 Yale and 2021 Yale, your mileage may vary. I feel that in general, while both score some points, the former is nowhere near harsh enough. But that's just me. That's him saying that. Suppose so, and Yale has declined. Yale is made of people and ideas. It is quite implausible that a psychometric test would show a great difference in the intelligence of its students and professors between 1951 and 2021, and they might well come out in favor of the latter, which suggests that any problem is with the ideas. The bad ideas in the humanities have in some ways flourished at Yale, and like everywhere else, like toxic green algae in a once blue mountain lake. Now, why would that happen? It must be related to the pattern of selective advantage in this marketplace of ecology. Maybe a nearby pig farm has unleashed a flood of sewage into the lake. Pig manure is a nutrient which alters the pattern of selective advantage in the lake, making it easier to exist as a stinking algal bloom and harder to flourish as a happy rainbow trout. Now he makes up two hypothetical countries and goes into it or whatever. But I want to encourage people to actually read Curtis Yarvin's Substack. Okay, he also has a website where he has his other like book series called A Letter to Open-Minded Progressives, and his observations are sound. His solutions are weird. He wants to like connect guns to like or I guess all weapons to like floppy disks or whatever in some way, and that's kind of weird, But essentially, what he's getting at is that it doesn't matter if our institutions are decentralized because they are all of the same will, and he's correct. He's completely correct. Okay, it doesn't matter if a school board is elected, because at the end of the day, everyone who ends up going to run for the school board has either been a teacher for a very long time, is just out of college, all of these various things. There are people with certain wills are inclined to go to certain professions and certain fields. For instance, I am inclined to have a prejudice towards deceit, and it's because of my personal experience. I am inclined towards conservatism, okay, because I am interested in protecting and preserving that which I find wholesome, and that is the hallmark of conservative thought. And And so, as a result of my prejudice towards deceit and my natural leanings to conservatism and my inherent desire to protect and forge that which I find wholesome, leads me to creating businesses. It leads me to doing things for my family and for my friends. It leads me to doing a 3-hour live stream about the election, which I don't want to do, you know. But to assume that because the way we gather knowledge is decentralized, and that the people in these decentralized institutions can put their prejudices aside, is actually a violation of critical race theory. Because according to critical race theory, which probably the vast majority of these people in academia subscribe to, everyone, there's no such thing as being able to move on from your prejudices, or separating your prejudices from yourself. Okay, I'll agree with the critical race theorists on that one. Now, I'll disagree with their premise that all white people are inherently prejudiced towards black people, because for one, that's a Yankee South thing from 70 years ago. Okay, move on, grow up, you know. And two, under that formulation that essentially abolishes my capacity to be a moral agent, which screw you. And third, you're right on the first half, you're wrong on the second half. You're basically crazy with the second half, and that's essentially all philosophy, including my own. I'm probably my solutions for things people would find crazy. Which is why I haven't gotten into any of my solutions yet, you know. But that's the way it is. But it's definitely different than with all this stuff. Like, you could say that Curtis Yarvin is essentially a right-wing Gromsky, which I don't think would be a I don't think that would be an insult to Curtis Yarvin. But I could talk about Curtis Yarvin and the Dark Enlightenment honestly all day. But that's just because, well, you know, little bit of a nerd. So yeah, so I guess I'll just get into the election results. I hope that makes sense. What I said makes sense, and nerding out with all this hyper niche philosophy stuff. But let's get into the election results. I'll refresh these pages one more time. All right. Doesn't look like much has changed. Ooh, JD Vance. Fetterman still has that same lead over Oz. Let me go to Masters. There we go. Okay, well, the rural votes will be counted with that for Blake Masters. This Wisconsin race is still neck and neck, dude. That lead's still going for those Pennsylvania races. Oh, I need to stop hunching over before my back hurts all day tomorrow. I got things to do tomorrow, where I'll need my back to not hurt. All right. This Minnesota race is 5% of the votes in. See what happens when we get more of the rural votes counted. Governor races look like Brian Kemp is going to win that one. Greg Abbott already went into that one. Kristi Noem already went into that one. Gretchen Whitmer and Tudor Dixon are still neck and neck, but only 20% of the votes in. So we'll have to wait. There's some Maricopa County shenanigans that we've covered on the Trevor report or today's Trevor report currently. But Katie Hobbs and Carrie Lake are they're on the neck and neck. They're on the neck and neck side of things. So there's that. But I'll be looking into the results on Wednesday. Kathy Hutchell and Lee Zeldin, 30% of the vote has been counted. We'll see what happens when we get more of the rural votes on that one. Josh Shapiro still has that same lead. A little bit more of the votes been reported. With 90% in, I'm going to take a guess that Kevin Stitt and Joy Hoffmeister, that Kevin Stitt, the incumbent with 56.23% of the vote, and almost all of it's been reported that this Oklahoma race is going to be called pretty soon. They're still fair game. I don't know the population of Oklahoma, otherwise I would call it. But LePage and Janet Mills, they're neck and neck. Little less than 7%, and 30% is reported. So we'll look into that later. This Kansas race has 60% of the vote in. This New Mexico race has less than 50% of the vote in, and it's 7% ish difference with that one. That Colorado race has been called right there. Those are still being reported. This Wisconsin race is very, very neck and neck, dude. All right, let's take a look at the CNN numbers. 153 House seats for Republicans, with Republicans getting the 5 pickups. Republicans need 23 seats to gain competitive seats to gain control of the House, and it's the Senate is still 50-50 on this one. Jen Kiggins will win hotly contested Virginia House race. That's a projection from CNN 8 minutes ago. 4 minutes ago, Georgia Senate race. Seesaw with Walker aides seeing optimism in uncounted votes in red counties. All right. Pennsylvania Secretary of State pleads for patience during multi-day counting process. Here we go again. Nothing ever changes. Oh, well. CNN projection: House Minority Whip Steve Scalise will win re-election in Louisiana, 1st congressional district. Well, I don't really care about these neocon, neolib, uniparty types winning or losing, but yeah, it's the way it goes. But yeah, I think I'll call it a half an hour early so that I can dedicate that extra half an hour to Wednesday's Trevor report. So yeah, see everyone tomorrow. I guess it won't be live though. I just don't really care. So yeah, see you all in the next one.